Are you stuck on a brand name for your product? You have this amazing thing that you make and you want to start a business, but you can't quite find that right name, the thing that you're just like, yes, that's it. Or everything you think of, it's already taken. Or maybe you got that cease and desist letter that because you already started, and guess what? Somebody already has that name and you didn't know it. Hi, my name is Sari Kimbell. I am the creator of Food Business Success, and I help people start and grow their packaged product business. If you had this idea, if it started in your home kitchen, I have probably done it. I have probably helped people create these businesses and grow them, whether it's food, beverage, pet treats, or body care. I've done it. I've helped people and I want to help you too. So today I want to share with you a little part of a workshop that the amazing Alexandra Watkins came and did inside my program. Our brand names have the power to create more sales. They do a lot of the lifting for you when they meet the smile criteria that Alexandra is going to talk about. And the ones that we don't want, that we want to scratch off the list, are the ones that come up on the scratch list, right? And so these are acronyms that she's going to teach you. I don't want you, if you're just starting out, I don't want you to set yourself up and make it any harder. Listen, it's already hard enough to do this. So without further ado, I'm going to share a part of this workshop that we did with Alexandra. And if you want to get the entire workshop, you can go to foodbizsuccess.com/name it. And the link will also be down in the description as well. All right, everybody, welcome to the Create an Appetizing Brand Name Workshop with Alexandra Watkins. Really excited to have her here. She is the founder of the brand name consultancy Eat My Words. And she has been naming some of the most iconic products and brand names that you know out there, including the Wendy's Baconator. I totally remember when that came out, as well as brands like Smitten Ice Cream, Monkey Dunks, Spoon Me Frozen Yogurt, Pop Psychology, and so many more. So welcome, Alexandra, for one. I'll welcome you on.
Thanks, Sari.
I'm so excited. So I'm going to turn it over to you here in just a couple of seconds. And Alexandra is going to totally take the reins here. As far as you guys are welcome to put questions into the chat. I'm going to be monitoring the chat. Alexandra is just going to focus on her presentation, and she's done some new fun stuff for us.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. I love naming food products, and the name of my company is Eat My Words. So we work with a lot of food brands, and it's always just so exciting to meet food founders and talk to them about their names. So let's dive right in. I have a lot to cover. So I hope that you stay on for the full call. There's a lot of there's some goodies at the end. All right, so just want to make sure is everyone here and paying attention? All right, so let's go. So today, here's what we'll cover. We're going to talk about the power of awesome names, how to test to see if your name is good or great. I'm going to teach you how to brainstorm like a pro, give you some of my best tips. Then we're going to talk about how to get some relief from domain name pain, because I know we've all been there. And finally, you will be able to ask me anything. And yeah, but before we dive into all that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So that's me. Oh, I'm sitting at I'm sitting at my desk. Yeah, I live in San Diego. I made the pool house my office, and there I am. That's on a better, I'm not having a horrible hair day today, but that's like a really awesome hair day. All right, so me in a nutshell. I started my career at Ogilvy and Mather, a big ad agency where I was a copywriter. Every once in a while, I would get thrown a bone and get to name something, and I loved naming, but I didn't know that naming was a profession until much later on. And when I discovered that, I learned that the place to make a name for myself pardon the pun, was Landor and Associates, which at the time when I was living in San Francisco was right in my own backyard. So I talked my way into Landor via a Match.com date. That's a story for another time. Don't worry, the entire experience was rated G, but I started working for Landor and a lot of other naming and branding firms as a freelancer. And that's when I got the assignment to name a new bacon cheeseburger for Wendy's. And as Sari said, that is the Wendy's Baconator that I named. And then I started my own firm, Eat My Words. And that, you know, I love the name. I've never outgrown the name. It just fits, it works, it makes people smile. And 10 years ago, I wrote my book for the first time. Hello, my name is Awesome, How to Create Brand Names That Stick. And then I have written a second edition, and I'm giving you an opportunity to get the book today. These are some of the clients that we've worked with over the years, some of the food clients, but I always find a way to work with people if I want to work with them, because I'm the boss lady. All right, here are just a couple of food brands that I've named. Smitten Ice Cream, they have a number of locations in the Bay Area. This next one was an energy drink that we named for Del Monte, an all-natural energy drink named Bloom. It helped, it was designed to help women revive in the afternoon, that 4 o'clock Diet Coke hour. And I called the Just Add Vodka party version a Sonic Bloom. And here's one of the names you may know. Burger King launched Mac and Cheetos, and we actually named those for Frito-Lay because they own Cheetos, and then it was a joint venture between the two. All right, so hopefully that gives you some faith in me. So an awesome name can do many things. It can make a valuable first impression, right? Oftentimes people, you know, when they see your product, the first thing that's going to jump out at them is the name. It can differentiate you from all of your competitors, and that's really important. You have to stand out in a crowded marketplace. It can give you an edge over competitors if you have an awesome name. It's going to, again, make you stand out. And it can raise your visibility, you know, again, helping you break through the clutter. Awesome names get tweeted and repeated. I was talking to someone at Nestle yesterday about something she named, and I said, that's the kind of name that people would, you know, snap a photo on their phone and put it on Instagram or send it to somebody. And like, imagine if you had a name for your product that was so cool, or your company, that people are taking a photo and just posting it on their own. So that's what an awesome name can do for you. And having an awesome name, creative name, can demonstrate your creativity. And I know Sari has a client with a product called Fat Kid, and like, that's a very creative name. And I know it's polarizing, it's not for everyone, but names aren't always for everyone. That's okay. You can't be all things to all people, but a name like Fat Kid, that's very creative. And it definitely, while it might deter some people, the people that love it are really going to love it. And an awesome name can make you more memorable. So when people see your name, they hear about you. And then later when they're at the grocery store and they're trying to find you, or they're trying to find you online, and they're kind of going through their brain's dusty filing cabinet, like, wait, what was that name? Like, I'm never going to forget the name Fat Kid ever. So that's the kind of name you want, something that people are going to remember, that's super sticky. So when you're going through your filing cabinet in your head, you want the name to just pop out. I should have a Fat Kid just pop out of the filing cabinet. All right, and finally, an awesome name can help you command higher prices. Think of wine labels, right? How many people buy wine by the label, by the name? A lot. So, you know, there's so many wine brands that have cool names, you know, whether it's something kind of racy like Menage a Trois, but like, if you have a cool name, you can potentially charge more for your product because people want it more. especially if you have a specialty food item that's highly giftable. We worked on naming a wine one time for Gallo, and it was right around the time 50 Shades of Grey was coming out, and it was a blended wine, and it was going to be sold at Target, and I wanted to name it 50 Shades of Grape, but they wouldn't go for it. But that would be a good name for a gift wine, right? Because somebody would pick it up like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give this to my girlfriend, right? So you think about your products that way too. Like, how giftable is this, and how appealing is the name for somebody that would want to give this as a gift? And we've all done that. We've all seen something that's perfect for someone, picked it up and bought them. So why not have that be your product? Okay. Are we having fun yet? Okay. I drink Diet Coke before 4 p.m. All right. Now, let's talk about the test of a good name. Let's talk about your own personal name. How many of you have a name that's hard for people to pronounce? Well, we know that Sari does, because I'm sure people call her Sari all the time.
Yes.
Sorry, sorry, not sorry. I so want to. If your name was Sari, like, I think that would make a really cute email address, like sorry, not sorry, or sorry, not sorry. Well, it still could be like Sari, not sorry.
I
Sari,
always
not
say
sorry.
Sari, not sorry. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, Sari, not sorry. Yeah. Well, you could spell it Sari, Sari, not sorry, Sorry. You can have a lot of fun with names. So a lot of people have names that are hard for people to spell or pronounce or remember. Well, a lot of food brands have the same problem. And these are what I call head scratchers, right? There's horny mounds. I don't know. We're going to talk about some of these later. And you might be looking at these like Haagen-Dazs, like, but the first time you saw Haagen-Dazs, even now, it's really hard for people to spell. And that little umlaut thing over that, oh, I didn't even know it had 2 A's in it. Yeah, the umlaut thing. Don't ever put those special, they're called diacritical marks. Don't put those little marks, accent marks, diacritical marks anywhere in your name, because you're going to make it difficult. And the whole thing to think about with your name is you want your name to be like a welcome mat, not a do not enter sign. Don't have there be any friction between you and the consumer. All right, and we're gonna dive down into more of these in a little bit. So my philosophy is a name should make you smile instead of scratch your head. And I based my name evaluation test on this philosophy, and it's called the Smile and Scratch test. It's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Inc., many business journals. It's the basis of my book, and it's my online course has many examples of Smile and Scratch in it. All right, so let's go through Smile really quick. And by the way, we're going to drill down on all of this. And then if you go to my website, eatmywords.com, and you want to test a name, right on the homepage, it says test a name, and you can run your name through the Smile and Scratch test and get an evaluation. So the S stands for suggestive. Then we have memorable, imagery, legs, and emotional. And again, we're going to go through all these. And then scratch is when to scratch it off the list because it makes you scratch your head. And that is spelling challenge, copycat, restrictive, annoying, tame, curse of knowledge, and hard to pronounce. So let's drill down. All right, so the S in smile stands for suggestive. So you want your name to be suggestive of a positive brand experience. So here is one of my favorite names of food. This is a brand of grapes that's seasonal, and they sell out every time the store gets them in, and it's called Cotton Candy. So I imagine a lot of you are familiar with this brand. It's from a company called Grapery, and they have really fun names. They're these grapes that are these long, kind of ugly purple grapes, and they call those witches' fingers. So they have a lot of fun. And I was really inspired by witches' fingers. One time I was asked to come up with a new name for kohlrabi, the vegetable that's a freaky looking vegetable with a really difficult name for people. And they were trying to have moms buy it for kids. And one of the names I came up with was Martian Hearts. So, that's fun. So, vegetables, kids hate to eat vegetables, but Martian Hearts, like that's something a kid would want to eat. So think about that. All right. The M in SMILE stands for memorable. And what makes something memorable is if we already have something related to it in our existing knowledge base. And that's why when people see something that's unfamiliar, they don't have anything in their brain to help them latch onto it because it's foreign to them. But if you have something that people already know, then it will be easier for them to recall later because it's already baked into their brain. So here is an example of a brownie name that I did, as well as some flavor names and a tagline. So Mud Puppies. So you can see like Hunka Hunka Burning Love is, based on the Elvis song. There's something about Cherry, obviously a play on the movie. There's something about Mary. So a lot of fun. Happiness is a warm brownie that came because they wanted people to heat these up, which I love. And that, of course, came from Happiness is a Warm Puppy. And then Mud Puppy, and then it worked really well with the name Mud Puppies. So there you go. So that makes it memorable. All right, the I in SMILE stands for imagery. So it's really important that when people hear your name, they see your name, that they can picture something in their head, because people remember images much more easily than they can recall random words and letters. So here is a name that both the name of the company and the name of the flavor have a lot of really good imagery. So it's kettle chips, we all know, and backyard barbecue. They say a picture says 1,000 words, but here's 2 words that produce 1,000 pictures, right? Especially here with 4th of July coming up. I'm sure a lot of us are hosting backyard barbecues or going to them. So I just love this name. So think about your name. How visually evocative is it? All right. The L in SMILE stands for legs. And legs means that your name lends itself to a theme so you can extend the mileage of your brand. And this is something that we've done a lot of with food. This is one of my favorite names that I came up with. It's for a cupcake store in Denver called the Church of Cupcakes. So we really played off of that theme. So her tagline is "Worshippers Welcome," right? She calls herself the church lady. She was teaching classes called Sunday School. And her flavor names are really fun too, and also play off this theme of church and religion. So I'll show you some flavor names and pay special attention to the last one, because it's a little naughty, but you wouldn't know it was naughty. And that's the beauty of, like, if you can have a name that's like an adult would know it was naughty, but a kid wouldn't, that's the best. I will keep going. T-shirts. So if you can monetize your name with merchandise, you're golden. So here's some t-shirts that the Church of Cupcakes did. Yeah, I came up with this one. "Forgive me, Father, for I have binged." And then this one I did not do. I need to make the disclaimer because my mother is a feminist and she would not like this t-shirt. "Worship these cupcakes." All right. The E in SMILE stands for emotional. It's really, really important, more than anything else. These are all important, but you want your name to make an emotional connection because, look, we're bombarded with images, words, every social media all day long. If someone's in the grocery store, they're like, or online, there's so much. They're on Amazon, suddenly you're getting distracted with something else. So you want your name to stick and resonate with someone. First of all, this next name, I cannot believe we got a trademark on this name. And this is the one I think about when I'm second guessing myself, well, maybe I shouldn't put the name on the list. I'm sure somebody has it. I don't do that anymore because we were able to get this name. It's for some microwavable potatoes, which, come on, all potatoes. You can just put some potatoes in a microwave in a microwavable dish and cook them. But somehow this company was able to package and sell them in a tray. And we named them Quickies. So I just thought it was such a fun, playful name, right? Look, they're potatoes, but they branded them with a name that's really fun, quickies. All right. And then I wanted to show you a little more about the power of emotional names and how you can make them work for you. So let's say and yeah, emotional names can drive sales. So let's say you're in a restaurant and on the menu, there's chicken soup. And I'm sure people would order chicken soup, but imagine how many more people would order this same bowl of soup if on the menu it wasn't called chicken soup, it was called grandma's chicken soup, right? Now that's a restaurant menu. They don't have to trademark this name, but if you are coming up with something, think about the word grandma, how loaded that is with emotional context, right? Like we all, I hope most of us have warm, happy feelings of our grandmother. Maybe she even cooked for us. Maybe that's her soup. That's her soup recipe. So think about things like that. Like your name can do so much for your brand. So really invest some time in it. All right, so that was Smile. Now we're going to go through Scratch.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. And to get the full scratch, meaning scratch it off the list, as well as Alexandra's amazing tips for brainstorming. And it's not what you think, it's not the traditional way of doing it. Plus, how to solve the domain name problems, as well as I'm going to share with you some of the Ask Me Anything, including my advice around FDA compliance when you're using, especially when you're using fanciful names, and remembering that you are probably a food business or pet treat or body care, and those have special regulations with the FDA. And also we talk about trademarks. So you definitely want to keep watching a little bit and then go get the full workshop. So Debbie had a great question about, and I'm going to also answer this too, Alexander. So I'll let you answer it and then I'm going to answer it because you're coming from the creative side and I'm coming from the FDA compliance side.
Mhm.
So always good. Remember, we have those two things. We're not just like a random t-shirt that we can name whatever we want. We also have the FDA, that fun organization that has rules. So her question is, and Debbie has Cocoa Body Care. I know she's been thinking about, I think you're thinking about whether you should rename it or not, but her question is really around, she has all these different scents, right, in her lotions and stuff. So should she do something like Sunshine Haze or something more like Orange Banana? Like what
I
it
think
is versus a fun name.
I think people want to know at least one of the ingredients in it. So like tropical something. Like tropical, you wouldn't have to say, like if you called it tropical sunrise, you wouldn't have to say that. Wait, what
Yeah.
were the flavor? What were the
So she said Sunshine Haze or more descriptive like Orange Banana.
orange banana? Yeah. So if there's a way to describe orange banana without using the words orange banana, or do something like, with orange or banana in it. But yeah, just like tropical haze on its own won't communicate that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
It's tough, right? And from an FDA compliance standpoint, like you can have the fun name, but you also need to tell people what's actually in it. You have to tell them orange banana, or you can come up with a totally random name for your granola bites that's a fun name to say, but you actually need to say chocolate granola bites.
Right. Like we know that chunky monkey, it really isn't chunks of monkey.
Right.
But they
That's a
say
good
what they
example.
list the ingredients, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have to tell people from an FDA perspective, it's called a statement of identity, where we actually spell it out in language that like a fifth grader could understand. Um, but it is fun. Like, because names, I mean, we talked about brand names, but you could use this around taglines, product lines, subscription names. I mean, there's so much more you can do with your course and with this information, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and when you're doing promo codes, right? Like Food Boss, I made that just for you. Like instead of saying, webinar participants or,
Yeah.
workshops, Sari's workshop, I tried to come up with something that was a little more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many opportunities to you or even coming up with your title, right? Like, the fire chief, right? We named this woman Lynette Hoy. She's a publicist, and we named her Fire Talker PR with the tagline Hot on the Press. She calls herself the fire chief and she works in the firehouse. And her theme song is Fire by the Ohio Players. So, yeah, you can have a theme song. You can do all kinds of stuff. My theme song, by the way, at Eat My Words is Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
I love it.
Mm.
I don't have a theme name. I'll have to think about that. Um, which actually kind of leads me, we had a question just to kind of expand on legs, which I think you just gave a great example of, right? With the
Yeah.
fire chief
Yeah.
and
I'll
everything.
give you a couple more. So, like, Eat My Words, our blog is called The Kitchen Sink, right? Because everything's in there. We
Yeah.
have, a value menu. We have a package called Supermarket Special. We have snack. There's, um, yeah, the pink fridge is where you keep the cool books. So, and then you saw the goodies in the goodie box, right? Those are all related to food. That's legs. So yeah, legs is just where you can extend the mileage of your brand because it lends itself to a theme.
Yeah. Which you can't do if you named it after yourself, right? I mean,
Right,
unless you have
exactly.
a
And
really
Ben and
a name
Jerry's
like that.
though got around, event with the fun flavor names, they're able to do that. And I was looking at Cho Chocolate to get an updated logo, and I saw that now they have some cool names for their chocolate bars, which is good. They needed to do something like that because
Yeah.
just having Cho on the package wasn't enough.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Like, just when you say Cho, I'm like, yeah, CHO, right?
Yeah,
So saying your name out loud to other people and then asking them, what did you hear? How would you spell that?
yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
that curse of
exactly. Or
knowledge.
say it to Siri, right?
Yeah.
Say find Cho Chocolate, and if you're new, how is she going to spell it? What's she going
Yeah.
to come up with? One time I asked, there's this company called Choose Fitness, but it's spelled CHUZ. And I asked her to I said, hey, Siri, find shoes. And she gave me the names of like 7 shoe stores nearby. She thought it
Yeah.
said shoes.
Yeah. We have to be so careful. I know there's the curse of like taking out all the vowels and
Don't do
things
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to buy a vowel, please. That should be the title of my next book. Have fun with it, right? There's so much wordplay with food. Really, I mean,
Right.
go to Chat GPT and say, I'm naming a food consultancy. Give me some ideas for playful names. And it's not, Chat GPT has a long way to go.
Yeah. But I'll
It's,
give you some ideas. Yeah.
yeah, but
Or
it's a
something.
start. It's great for just kicking it off.
Yeah. And this kind of goes with, so somebody asked about like if they do a keto product, should they have keto in the brand name? And I had an answer, but
What's your
my
answer?
answer was no. Um, I just think it limits you. You may not always want to do keto. And I would rather see that in a tagline. Like I want a
Yeah.
memorable name that kind of stands out and is fun and more emotionally resonant. And then it could be, keto for everyday, every day or something.
Yeah. Or something on the packaging, keto friendly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So that
agree.
was my answer, but
No, I think that's good. I think that's good.
um, so Vanessa is actually in a renaming process from a trademark issue. So I will say I got a trademark infringement at the beginning as well, which sucks to get that FedEx hand delivered envelope from
Oh
an
my
attorney.
God.
So I don't recommend it. And somebody had a question, about do you need to use an attorney and can you just check the test database? Yes, that's a good place to start. But an attorney like Lauren will search a lot of other places because it's not just tests and there's a lot of like nuances. So at least getting a thorough search, and then if you just want to pay somebody to do it for you, or you can do it yourself. All right, that was awesome. I hope you got a couple of great ideas and tidbits from that you can take away and you can get started now and then go get the full workshop. Listen, it's only $19. And then go get the full workshop. Or even better yet, you can grab her full course inside the replay and then go get the workshop. Go get the whole thing. It's only $29 and it is the best investment you can make to have it in your name. Listen, your name is going to be around longer than your packaging, longer than your website, longer than so many things in your business, equipment, on and on and on, right? Like your name is one of the most important things that you own. And so instead of paying somebody like Alexandra, who we'd pay thousands of dollars to help you come up with a great name, go get the workshop and you're going to get so much value from that. And then let me know in the comments below what name you came up with, and I would love to follow you and cheer you on. Thanks for watching today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.